it's sometimes very tricky to identify because sometimes people take these very, very tiny little steps to start. Like, honestly, I think that's probably a step. So as you can see, again, we have the red is the left leg and the black is the right leg. If you look, you can kind of see it, the red does kind of, it looks very small, but I probably would count that. So what we would do is try to look for the lift off of the red, I guess around there.
Left or black? Red or black?
Red.
You sure that the person?
It's hard to tell it. And again, this is when you sometimes you want to look at you can look at Vicon to see, because sometimes
it's hard.
Sometimes it's very clear. Sometimes they very clearly. This is a little bit of a
tricky.
I would look at it in Vicon. So I think, let's see, it was. Who's this? 0520 B 20.
For this first.
And what I would do is just, I always make it kind of this side view and zoom in, and then just kind of try to find. So this should match up. Like that should be like it's 467 in here. It would likely be 4.67 in step time. So, and again, it's hard to tell. So we can see that the slip is happening here. And sometimes their foot kind of bounces. Oh, did I miss it already? I must have missed it. Yeah, so in this case, when you look at it here, like, again, this is left foot, right foot.
Yeah.
Their left foot does move, but it almost just kind of looks like they picked their toes up and put it back down. Like, I don't know that it left. So again, that's why sometimes if you really can't tell in here, look at this, and then if you really don't know, sometimes you just have to ask someone else and get a second opinion. This I will say is kind of a tricky one. So in this case, yes, I would say that left movement we saw was just kind of a little, like a little bump almost, and I would not count that as a step. So we're going to use the right leg.
Right leg.
So
the black one.
The black one, yes. I did not mean to do that.
So could you go back to the Vicon? Is it the time? So.
It's the frame, yeah. So that's, I mean, so that's in like a different unit, obviously, but this is the same, yeah. So like this would be 6.15 in here.
So why?
So this is seconds, and I guess this is what.
So why we do not calculate on this instead of using MATLAB?
He says this is more accurate and good because of the, I don't know.
We don't know. You don't know why?
I don't know. It's what we're told to do. But you can use this. I do use this to like kind of verify it sometimes, and even because if things don't look clear in here, you can use this and kind of just make sure it makes sense. Like sometimes if you're looking at a lift-off touchdown, you can come look at it in here. But because here, like some of it depends on like if you weren't perfectly flat, you know, the angle might make it look weird. And this is presenting a very 2D flat model.
So I just want to know that what kind of problem would be happening if we calculate
in the leg.
It should. I mean, it should match up. Like you know, like it should. But we use this. Yeah.
Is it a specific way that to distinguish the which person calculated with which with which software?
I don't know.
No.
You can do a study on that. Let me know the results. I mean, like it should match up. Like you know, it should cooperate. But anyway. But I do typically, when I do this, I'll have Vicon open as well, just for cases like this that sometimes sometimes people will kind of like what we do call an aborted step, like start to pick up their foot, but then they don't, stuff like that, and you can't count that. So in this case, we're going to use that black right foot as the first one. Since it's behind in here, it's kind of hard to tell. But what you're looking for is when the heel starts coming off the ground. So definitely by there, maybe even there, because you can see it started lower, but I'd probably say around there. So that would be, so then now when you fill this in, you're going to fill in lift off first, which is different than walking forward. And then again, this is different. So typically with this type of recovery, so now we have a lift off, you're going to immediately get you're going to have a touchdown before the next lift off. So that black leg, we're looking for touchdown probably around there. 6.25. Oh, and then I think this would be, I forget what the code is for just a slip. You'd put whatever code it is, maybe probably treadmill slip or something like that. I think probably this, but you'd have to double check that. So just notice that like for a slip trial, this is going to be later than this, which is the opposite of normal walking.
Yeah.
So like this should the touchdown for walking, overground walking should always be a lower frame number than the lift off. It's flipped for slip, just because the direction is different.
Yeah.
But you do the same pattern. So now we're going to look for the lift off, because typically people take more than one step. Lift off of that left foot. Looks like they're kind of dragging their foot, which again, so like you can't always look at like toes, because it looks like their heel isn't really leaving the floor, you see. So probably around there. I'd probably do 6.34. And just keep doing that
Until.
Well, that's a nice big step. Until they stop stepping backwards. So another one here.
After stepping backwards, we should create a new route for forwarding.
No, we don't need the forward steps for this. For standing slip trials, all you need is all the backward steps, and that's it. Gait slips, I'm not going to get into that today, but that's a little more complicated. Like you would do all the backwards, and I think we've said like 2 or 3 forward, something like that. But that's again more complicated, so we'll worry about that later. For now, just focus on like walking and because I want you to practice this before we start giving you the harder stuff. And it's not that it's harder, it's just like it's easy to get confused. I mean, I still get confused when I look at this sometimes. But you'll just keep going. And in this case, you shouldn't have any B's or 999s, because they're on the treadmill now, and so like everything should be visible. And if it's not, if something gets weird while you're doing this, it probably means that there's something wrong with the Vicon process data and it needs to be fixed.
Such as?
Like a marker was missing that somebody didn't fill in. Like whoever did the Vicon processing might have missed something. But so anything on the treadmill should be fine. It's the overground things that there's kind of this, we can only get this middle part of it. So yeah, so you can see they stopped. So like this person's now, this is them resetting, and we don't need to do that. So once you finish all the backward steps, you're done with that. Yep. I'm not going to do that for today though. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
It'll just take some practice.
Yeah.
And I can give you some stuff to practice.